Welcome back, everybody. It's another episode of Bold Real Estate Investing. I'm your co-host, Chris Angel, and I'm here with your host, as always, Bill Dean. Hello, Bill Dean.
How's it going?
Hey, man. Well, listen, I'm a little bit fired up from our last episode on apps for real estate investors. That was crazy good. This sounds awesome, too. We're talking about the benefit of insurance for real estate investors. Now, I mean, insurance puts me to sleep. So, but when you started talking to me a little bit before recording on what you actually mean by this, my ears perked up. So I can't wait to see what you say about insurance. What's the value?
Right.
What's the benefit of insurance?
Well, I'm going to start off with a couple fun little facts.
Yeah.
Did you know that there is an app for finding insurance?
No.
Yes. So there's actually a couple now. One is called Lemonade, like lemonade stand. It's called Lemonade, and you can actually get multiple quotes for renter's insurance right there.
As an investor or as a renter.
But you as an individual can get it for your house. I mean, it's a free way to get multiple quotes. So, because that's one of the things we'll talk about is insurance is one of those needs in real estate investing that most people get and forget. And you really should be checking into that almost every year. Every single year, I will say I do actually find a new company and I have them reassess my investment properties. Because what you'll find is a lot of companies will, hey, we'll insure your properties for you. Sweet. And then a couple of years go by and all of a sudden, oh, our premiums went up. And most people don't care. They don't pay attention. They just think, oh, it's going up. But the fact is companies are always competing. They're always trying to balance portfolios. So what was the best company 2017 might not be the best company 2019. Right. Okay. And the cool thing about that is we want to talk about like the leverage value. So, a quick rule of thumb is property's worth 100 times its rent per month. So if I get $1,000 for my rental house, then it's probably worth $100,000 if it's at a 10 cap. Okay. So that's just kind of a quick rule of thumb. If you see, oh, we're selling our duplex for $150,000 and it rents for $150,000, or sorry, it rents for $1,500 a month, that's probably a good deal or a decent cash flowing property. So that's the rule of thumb. But if you reverse engineer that, that means every dollar is worth $100 at the time of sale that you earn. So if you have a property that's insured for $1,000 and you can get it insured for $800, well, now you just added $200 of value as income, which is worth $20,000 of value to the next investor. Okay, do it again. Okay, so if you can save $200,
you're getting into numbers and things now. So I may not, maybe I'm the only one, but like people just like.
That's all right. Well, it's just so let's say you can save $100 on your insurance premium for the year. Okay. You're making the same cash, but now you're spending $100 less. That $100 is worth $10,000 as far as value goes.
How so?
Because let's say for the whole year you make $10,000, but then it costs you $1,000 for insurance. You're only making $9,000. Yep. But if you can only spend, let's say, $800 for insurance, then you're making $9,200.
Got it.
So okay. $200 is worth $100 more at the time of sale, as far as how much money the business brings in.
I get it. Yeah. Okay. I get it. Good.
You're working down the expenses to get more cash flow versus trying to make more cash.
Yeah. Which increases the value.
Yeah.
Right.
So just knowing that, hey, there's literally technology out there. I can, instead of like what I do is I call up and then I say, hey, this property is built this year. It has this type of siding, this age of roof, this type of furnace, this age of furnace, this type, everything. You go through the whole list and then you go to the next one. This property is this year. And, then they put it in their system and sometimes it takes them 4 weeks to get back to you. Sometimes they get it back to you that afternoon, which is a whole other thing in itself. Yeah. And you say, oh, I could save $100 going here, or, maybe I'm sitting good with the policies I have. But anytime you can save money means there's more value in your properties.
And you're saying like with an app like Lemonade, now you don't have to like wait 4 weeks. Like you can actually just put it in and then you get back bids on it. Yes.
Yeah. Yep. And so the cool thing about that, It's super convenient. Your renters can use it. So it's one of those things you can, hey, by the way, get this app and you'll be able to get, the cheapest renter's insurance I can find. On the flip side of that, it gives you the opportunity to search your own properties and say, hey, maybe in my area, I only know a State Farm and an Allstate agent. Well, what does, the brokerages offer? What do all these smaller guys offer? Well, this could give you an opportunity to get into that.
Right.
Because when it comes to insurance, no, this is just my personal experience, and I apologize to anyone. But I should tell from what I've experienced. So you have two types of insurance. You have mainline, which is your State Farms, Allstates, American Family. Then you have brokers. Brokers can sell most anyone's lines. So they can go shop from 20 different companies.
Got it.
Versus staying with the home brew.
Right.
The flip side of that is those big names like your State Farms or Allstates, they can write policies that no one else can because they have the money behind them.
Got it.
So one example is I was digging into a trailer park because they are my favorite things to invest in. And I was talking to my broker who has all my rental properties because he was able to get me a quote that was almost $400 cheaper per house than the State Farm gal I was talking to, which means I saved almost $160,000 of value right there. But when it came to the trailer park, maybe 56 lots, about in that time about $250,000 investment, he could not write it. But the State Farm gal, oh yeah, puts in their system and your premiums,
got it,
$2,800.
Right.
So you do need to have both, and I would strongly recommend. It's not the most fun talks to have, maybe, but it is kind of fun because you're shopping, and just be blunt with them, like, hey, I'm trying to get people on my team because investing is a team sport,
right?
And I need to have these mainline guys who can offer the big stuff and unique things. Then I need my little brokerages out there who can shop around, find me the best deal, and go into that.
Yeah, that's good. I like it. I like that you bring back the team concept because you want different tools or players for different scenarios.
Oh yeah. Well, when you start really analyzing properties too, like I have a number I call. I did it today actually to ask a couple ideas on. It's hey, I'm looking at this triplex. What would it cost to insure it? I tell them the facts I know. The nice thing is on the MLS, I'm able to look at the date, the age.
Right. I
know the siding for my walkthrough, kind of walk them through it. Oh yeah, we're looking at XYZ.
Yep.
And the cool thing is, you pay for your homeowner's insurance, but renter insurance is actually usually cheaper than homeowner's insurance. Because like what happens with all my properties, like I cover the fixtures, the workings, the things like that in it, but I don't have any personal property to cover.
Right.
Versus your house is going to cover, your TV, your toys, all the stuff that could be damaged. So that's why my renters have to have renter's insurance. And I tell them up front, like, hey, you need to get this because my stuff covers the building.
Right.
Your insurance will cover your stuff inside. So that way, if anything happens, we're both protected.
Right. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I like it. What are there other things about the benefit of insurance? So
a couple of things you're going to want to check into. There are a lot of different liabilities and coverages. And that's one of those things where just ask, always ask when they say, oh yeah, it's $1,200. $1,200 for what? Is it for a $250,000 coverage? Is it for a $500,000 coverage? In my own policies, I found I could get $500,000 more of coverage for $8 more a year. It's like, okay, so if something horrible happens on my property and they come after me, for $8 more, I have twice the coverage.
Right.
And it's just because I asked. The other thing is rent loss insurance. So when you have rental properties, things are going to happen, be it snow melt in our neck of the woods, or if it's just going to be a pipe burst or whatnot. And you can actually get extra coverages and line items like rent loss. So that's not like, oh, hey, I had a vacancy, pay me money. It's, hey, I had to move someone out to repair something. Then your insurance would kick in and cover their hotel and your repairs.
Wow. That's amazing.
So that's a really nice little add-on. Another one, too, is I don't know what the average age of home is in your neighborhood, But like where I'm starting off my investing is older homes. They actually have policies and clauses that say, hey, if your home is out of date and you have to repair it, but then bring it to code on top of that, we'll actually pay up to $25,000 of that.
What?
So, yeah.
Wouldn't they know that going into the house? Like if your house had knob and tube wiring, they wouldn't insure it, right?
It's not necessarily that, but I mean, codes are always changing.
Got it. Okay.
So, I mean, from your venting outside, from your soffits to usually it's electrical. Like if you have a fire in your kitchen,
right?
Oh, this isn't fully grounded wiring. You have to rewire your upstairs now, even though the fire was just in the kitchen. Well,
got it.
Ripping out walls and rerunning all the wires is very expensive.
I see. Yeah, I totally get that. Totally get that. And that would be if you didn't have insurance to cover that, that comes out of your pocket, right? As the owner.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because you don't get and that happens because things are grandfathered in, sort of like window sizes and styles.
Right.
That's sort of, hey, it's grandfathered, but if you make a change or you remodel this, then you have to bring it to code. It's kind of the rule. So this would cover that.
Got it. Okay.
Which is huge because that can save you tons and tons and tons of money. And codes are always changing. And like we're different than all 3 states that we border. Yeah. We all have different codes and rules. Minnesota is the toughest. Montana is fairly loose. North Dakota is very loose. So it's really interesting how that all goes, but it all plays a part because, this is real estate. It's not an if, it's just when. Something will happen. It's just, are you prepared for it?
So I like the thing you said about you call an insurance person. You're like, so what is that for? What is that? They quote you and you say, what's that for? What does that cover? And then I would imagine to take it a step further, you just like, what else can I get? Or what other options do you have? And you just because I would guess most conversations are like, hey, I need some insurance. Sure. Here's the quote. Yeah. I like the price. And the conversation's over versus looking for what else, what does it cover? And what else can I get to protect me?
Yeah. And that's one of the best parts too, because we're trying to own these things for cash flow on top of all the other benefits.
Right.
But, I'm not paying that premium out of my pocket. So, okay, if $56 gives me a hedge against a $50,000 repair.
Right.
Absolutely. And it's not even my money really.
Yeah. I mean, technically you could base your rents based off some of the expenses you're going to have, right? Like
exactly.
Just boost my rent up $56 to cover the cost of the thing if I needed to.
Yep. And if you want to the cool thing is like when we're analyzing properties, they can tell us what they're paying on insurance. But the fact is they might have cut their insurance to pieces and just done the bare minimum, underinsured the rebuild, drop their insurance. So you can't even trust their numbers anyways, because they might be, gaming you. Oh yeah, we make this per year, but oh yeah, their insurance covers, if the whole planet floods, like, okay.
Right. Yeah.
So, that's one of those things you need to have that person on your team. Because the flip side of this, now I cannot do this in my state. We actually just had it at our legislative session for this year. But when I was doing multiple trailer parks and storage unit investing, so like Texas, Illinois, California, some of these places, you can actually earn profit from offering insurance too.
Wow.
So yet again, not North Dakota as of right now, but in other states, you can check into it. You can actually partner with an insurance company and offer your tenants, which hopefully is mandatory they have insurance, but hey, if you want, it's $13 a month for renter's insurance. And you can just pay me or you can pay direct to them. Either way is good. Well, that insurance company will then give you $1, $2 back. You can actually make it where you make a little money off it.
Wow.
Because like we talked about in the beginning, $1 in income is $100 in value.
Right.
So if you make $2 a month all year, that's $24. Well, you've just made $2,400 of value per unit.
Right.
So like for me, I have 5 units running. It's like, well, that's 110. That's like almost $10,000 of value.
Yeah.
Protecting my own properties.
Wow.
So imagine if you had a 20-plex or a 30-plex.
Right. No kidding. Huh. Love it, man. Dude, I would not have thought of insurance as something other than a necessary evil, right? I wouldn't have thought of it as a valuable thing that adds on to my my valuable asset.
Yes. No, and you can do it most anything. So like the application fee.
Yeah.
Most people make a money off an application. Oh, it's $25. The software they have maybe is $5 to run a background check.
Right.
They just pocket 20. And that's one of their line items you'll see in the profits. I mean, having coin-operated laundry machines, that adds a lot of money in value to the property.
Wow.
Having storage units that they can rent, having garages builds value. So having insurance is one of those things that if your state allows it, which many do, hey, let's do this. You don't have to go shopping. You don't have to make any phone calls. You're covered up to, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, and we're good to go.
Wow. That's amazing. So good. Anything else that people need to know about this interesting topic of benefit of insurance?
Well, insurance is, I think you said it right. It's one of those necessary evils until you need it.
Yeah.
And that's, that whole shopping around thing. Don't be lazy when it comes to it. Insurance is one of those things you can control. But finding a good agent who, they know you might call them every other week to look at a deal, but the fact is you'll be a very good support of their income, hopefully, and keep growing.
Yeah. And I mean, to your point, like it may be a necessary evil, but depending on the circumstance, it could actually add value to your investment. So in some cases, it's not even a necessary evil. It's a, I don't know what the opposite of a necessary evil is, but it's a blessing. It's a valuable blessing.
Unneeded good.
Yeah.
No, it is awesome though, because the whole point of the physical building itself, you have to put an addition on, convert things, rip out walls, you have to do physical work to make more money. But if you can make more money without doing any work, how much better is that?
Yeah, right. I know. That's amazing. It's incredible. Well, I think people are going to have a lot of questions on this insurance thing. I suppose if you're watching this on Facebook or on YouTube, you could put questions in the comments. Or if your questions are a little bit more personal or you want to speak to Bill directly for follow-up questions, Bill, what's the best place for them to reach out to you?
All right. Check me out at www.billdeanhomes.com. So that's my name, billdeanhomes.com. And ask your questions there, and we'll get together and figure it out.
Yeah. It's good stuff, Bill. Thanks for this. I feel like your course, there's going to be some course in the future that is going to kind of walk us through some of the details of this. So I can't wait for that to come out. I'm planting that seed here for those of you listening, right? We're teasing it out, but I think that'll go into add so much color and depth to these different strategies that you talk about, Bill. So good stuff there, man. Thanks again for your time, your wisdom, and we'll catch you next time.
All right. See you then.